Obviously, we've got this fantastic sort of platform for improvement, development. We've got almost 100 videos of the likes of Julian O'Dell on there, but you know, we've got everyone coming on board already on there. Chris Watkins been kind enough to give us his content, hasn't he? We've got some stuff from Tony Morris on there. We've just done, let's talk about it. We've just done a brilliant tie-up with the amazing Charlotte Campbell from Able Agent, haven't we? Where you can get both of these, both our membership and our campus and her Able Agent for under £100 a month a branch. I mean, that's. I mean, I know I'm biased, but that's pretty good value, isn't it?
At that price, I'll have 3.
Yeah, this isn't Greg's day. Come on, stop.
Trying to stay enthusiastic.
But it's okay. So talk about people, everyone understands, I think, what LMSs are these days: learning management systems, training platforms. We've got one. You know, Tony Morris has got one out there. The likes of Property Mark have got them. Everyone's got them. But the key thing is about the content, isn't it? The content and what you can do with this. So what have we got that we can talk about that we've been able to do? Rich, were you talking about one earlier about a particular example?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of points from it. One is what we've tried to do with Campus is go outside of the standard agency, how to negotiate an offer, how to convert a listing, all of that sort of stuff, which is vitally important. But the world's changed, hasn't it? So you've got Paul Long doing half an hour on retargeting on Facebook.
Yeah.
You've got the guys at PVS telling you rules of thirds on where you should be standing, where you should be displaying text.
Yeah.
So there's lots of stuff which is really, really important, but I'm not convinced there is a training course or you can hire a trainer to be. What I think you're referring to is we've been working with an agent whose biggest challenge is they understood the importance of training.
Yeah.
They really wanted it, but to get anybody to do it was really tough. Getting their staff to do it, and actually what we've developed is they've got the usual issue of staff retention at the moment.
Yeah,
and that is a number of things. One is people resign and there's no talking them round when actually they haven't been promoted for a period of time and they're probably working above the level that they should be.
Yeah.
But also you'll get people who have been working there for 3 months saying, I want to be an office manager, and unless you promote me, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And what we've worked on with them is a really clear roadmap of what each role looks like. And they've incorporated training and campus on that. So for example, if you are a junior negotiator, they believe it helps with their recruitment process where every role has a defined progression. So David's coming in as a junior negotiator. How do I get to be a branch manager? Well, actually, you go from a junior neg to a neg, you go from a neg to a lister, and. Well, what does that consist of? And it is clearly defined and outlined. But part of that may be, for argument's sake, to get from a junior neg to a neg, you need to have been trained, you need to be working here for 12 months. You need to have, I don't know, accompanied 100 viewings, tied up 1,500 offers, agree 50 sales, whatever it must be. But what they've also incorporated it into is you must have completed course 1, 2, and 3 on campus. But then what we're also doing, which is really nice, is they're creating their own campus content.
So they're able to do it themselves. This is one of the lovely things I like about it, isn't it? This isn't just saying, this is our worldview. Agents themselves can essentially have their ring-fence version, can't they?
Yeah, we used to play a game in our branches a long time ago. We called it branch bingo. And every morning we'd go into a branch and there'd be 50 balls, each with a number. And each number was a question. So that number might have been, right, David, pick a ball.
26.
26. David, if you are living on High Street, what's the nearest bus route to get into the town? Who's the head teacher of St. Joseph's Primary School? All of that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
because you need to know that sort of stuff when you're speaking to people.
Yeah.
And what they've done,
that's a skill that is so overlooked. That local knowledge is what makes you that local agent.
Yep. So what this agent have done is they're using Campus, they're using it as part of their development roadmap, which is helping on recruitment, but also retention. Because when David comes to me in 3 months' time saying, I want a promotion, that's brilliant, David. Have we met the requirement? no, you haven't completed this quiz, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. But also they're adding their own content, which encourages that training mentality in their business.
You know what? On a side note, Rich, I think it's probably something that we don't do enough in the industry. It is that when we do get new recruits, we should give them a roadmap so that they understand how you get from A to B to C. I mean, in the old days, I think I remember somebody said to me, if I worked hard enough, I'd be able to drive a BMW 3 Series one day.
Oh, nearly there, buddy.
But the point is, that means nothing to me as a young junior neg working hard. Yeah, we know we're going to have to work hard. It's part of the job. But in reality, if somebody had come along and said, actually, David, once you've completed this set of competencies, we'd like you then to move on to look at this. It's a very clear progression.
What they've also done really well is they have given salary ranges for each role. So again, if David is a junior negotiator, and again, completely making up the numbers, his salary range may be 16 to 22 with an OTE of 35, whatever it may be. And then David's not going to come up to me within the first 6 months saying, I know I haven't completed quiz 1, 2, and 3, but I want to earn 25 as a basic. The conversation is, David, we'd love to pay you 25. We can't wait for it, but you need to progress from a junior to a neg, and you know what you've got to do. And a lot of that is to do with training and development.
You've told us, and it's the whole point, isn't it? No one can be in any doubt. It's the expectation level. It's all transparent and everything else there, rather than that of feeling I've been passed over because of X, Y, Z.
And it replaces that old fear that if you train somebody up, then basically you're just training somebody up for the competition. But I suppose if you are acknowledging their thirst for knowledge or perhaps to attain a new challenge and a new role, well, then you're not necessarily just training them up so that they go and leave to go somewhere else. You're training them up so that you can utilize it yourself.
Yeah.
That was the old Richard Branson quote, wasn't it, though? Was it? What was it? Train people well enough so they can leave. Treat them well enough so they don't want to. That's what you're talking about, isn't it, really?